The story about Sodom and Gomorrah, it was not about homosexuality like most have adapted that concept and ran with it. And I can tell you for a fact, 10 toes down, 5 phalanges, 10 phalanges down, the source does not care about homosexuality. And I'll repeat that again. The source does not care about homosexuality, right? A source did care about homosexuality because you couldn't produce more clones if people wasn't reproducing, or more slaves. But we'll get to that at a later time, per usual. But I'm going to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. So first, before I get to this, just listen to this. Salt mixed with blood is the shrinkage and dehydration of red blood cells due to osmosis. Water moves out of the red blood cells to the salt solution to balance the solute concentrations. This causes cells to shrink and become shriveled, a process called crenation. Sounds close to cremation, but crenation, which damages or destroys them. Okay? So with that in mind, what I just read, let's think about Sodom and Gomorrah. So in the story, it says 2 messengers came to that city to warn them, right? To the cities to warn them. So the 2 messengers was the heart and the lungs, going to warn the reproductive system that if they did not stop defiling them, that the kidneys was going to stop doing what the kidneys do, balance our salt, how much salt goes into the urine, right? They didn't listen. They ignored messages from the heart, from the lungs that pumps and receives blood and transported through the bodies, through our arteries. They're not listening to the heart or the lungs when they're telling them to stop doing what they were doing with their reproductive organs. Nothing about male and male or female and female. Yes, they was having orgies, but you know what having too much of unprotected sex can cause? If not pregnancy, what are the other things that it can cause? And not only were they having unprotected sex, they were indulging in all pleasures. So they're eating, smoking, they're doing everything pleasurable times 1,000. So when it says God sent the messengers, the brain sent messages down to the reproductive system. Boom, 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 stop. They did not listen. So when it says Lot's wife got turned into a pillar of salt, too much salt coming out of the urine causes what? Kidney stones. And as you know what kidney stones, I've never had them, but I lived in a house with a male. He had them. I've never heard such excruciating pains, like a man scream like that. And then they're saying like kidney blocks, kidney stones is big, and they only can pass through the urine. Like, whew, whew, I don't want to think about that type of pain. But anyways, when it was talking about she got turned into a pillar of salt, all of that was just explaining a kidney stone, right? Just a kidney stone. And what happens? And as you know, with kidney stones, they're hard to pass. It takes time for them to pass. But when it says that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, again, taking too much of a good thing could be bad. And not only was that, they made pedophilia a law. They bestiality, too much of everything, and it was legal. So when it says it reached the heavens, it came back up to the brain, and the brain's like, oh, they don't want to listen, so the body stopped defending like naturally, stop defending against itself, because why will it protect itself when it's constantly being force fed all this bad stuff? It don't have any more protection to help you. So that's what it means when Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed. It was really the brain sending the heart and the lungs down to the reproductive system to tell the organs to knock it off. Chill out, y'all. Y'all finna destroy your whole body. And as you know, disease, cancers, and things like that can come from things like that. It had nothing to do with homosexuality. Hope that resonated with you guys.